Good evening, everyone. I forgot to unmute one. You know what it's like. Welcome to Oban Pride live for LGBT History Month. We are doing a live stream every Thursday evening at 6 p.m. throughout February as part of our LGBTQ plus history program. As well as this, we're doing our daily posts on Facebook and Instagram, so I hope you've been seeing them. And of course, we've got Oban Pride on the waves every Friday, 8 p.m. till 10 p.m. And we also have our virtual purple party.
Oh gosh, try saying that one.
Come on then, you try saying it.
Virtual purple party.
Yes, we have our virtual purple party on the last Friday of February, which is known as Purple Friday, and that'll be the 26th of February, and that'll be live from 7 p.m. And we've got some live music for that. We've got some prizes to give away for that. We'll have a bit of a quiz. We'll have some stories. So it'll be a really, really good night.
Yeah, it will be.
We're very much looking forward to that.
Yes, we are.
If you do have any comments when we're on today, do pop them in the comment section and we'll get those shared with everybody. And we do hope you enjoy our little stream this evening as we look at LGBTQ plus history, which is our main topic today, really.
It is.
It's about why we need pride and things like that. Hello, Gary. How are you this evening?
Hi, Gary.
Hi, Gary. So, yes. So, I think we should make a wee start.
Yes, let's go for it.
So, now, when I tested this all earlier, it all worked. But that means nothing now. Da, 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 da.
Yay!
So, yes, as you all know, we are Oban Pride.
We are. Oh. What happened?
I pressed the wrong button on my bit, on my screen.
Oh, dear. Hello, William. How are you? We're very well, thank you, Gary.
So we're going to start by talking about the beginning of Pride. Oh, I thought you were starting. I thought you were starting. Can you tell we've rehearsed?
As usual.
As usual. So it was illegal to be LGBTQ plus until 1967 in England, 1980 in Scotland, and 1980 in New York and other parts of America. And it's still illegal to be LGBTQ plus in 70 countries.
That's dreadful.
It's very high, isn't it?
Yeah.
And in 11 of those countries, they still have the death penalty in place for LGBTQ plus offences.
Crazy.
And in 15 countries, criminalise gender identity or expression as well. So all these figures are quite high. They are a couple of years old, these figures, but they are quite high. 2020 marked 30 years since the World Health Organization, otherwise known as the WHO.
Not the WHO.
Not the WHO,
not
just
the band.
WHO. No, not the band, WHO, no. 2020 marked 30 years since the WHO declassified homosexuality as a mental disorder. So that was only 30 years ago.
Just...
And it was declassified on the 17th of May, 1990.
I can't believe that.
I know.
It's just...
It's shocking, isn't it?
It is shocking.
It is.
It is shocking. In 1969... Next slide, please.
My clicker's not working. I'm having to use my mouse and not my clicker. I think it's because I've got too many USBs going on here. My clicker doesn't work. It did earlier. I'm just checking I turned it on again. I did. Right, carry on.
In 1969, being LGBTQ+ was illegal and classed as a mental illness. LGBTQ+ people used to gather in bars and clubs. Many of these places were often owned by organised crime groups due to the illegal nature of being LGBT. You would have thought I could say that by now.
Yes.
LGBTQ+. The Stonewall Inn was one place that the LGBTQ+ people used to gather. The Stonewall Inn is in the Greenwich Village neighborhood of Manhattan, New York City. The client, effeminate men, butch lesbians, transgender people, lesbians, gay men, drag queens, and sex workers.
So a good mix of clientele, yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Sounds like my type of pub.
Yeah. Stonewall Inn would have regular, if not nightly, police raids. That's just because they wanted to be in on the crowd.
I don't think it was, Anna. Honestly, learn your history.
Sorry.
During these raids, many people would be arrested, hit, grabbed roughly, pushed around, pushed to the floor, and generally treated in an awful way. These riots happened so regularly and sometimes every night, the clients of the Stonewall Inn were so used to them and being treated so badly, but eventually they decided enough was enough and started to fight back.
On 28th of June 1969, when the police turned up to raid the Stonewall Inn, the people there started fighting back. This changed history forever, and many say was the start of the modern-day Pride movement. These events went over a few nights and are known now as the Stonewall Riots. During the riots, there were lots of people being arrested, people injured, and some even say bricks were thrown. The following year, 1970, on the 28th of June, the first Pride March was held to mark the anniversary of the Stonewall Riots. The marches took place in New York, San Francisco, and Los Angeles. The anniversary was commemorated in other cities as well.
I'm just quickly checking that all the screens are showing, because Jay was saying there's no picture.
There isn't at the moment.
No, there should be. Oh no, there shouldn't be. I'll just quickly check, and you can see my slideshow, folks. Jay was saying there's no picture. Oh no, I can see it. It's fine. Just checking on my phone, as you do. One person who was heavily involved with the Stonewall riots was Marsha P. Johnson. Now, you might have read about Marsha on our daily post today. Marsha was hated by many people for many different reasons. In today's society, Marsha would fall into 3 out of the 5 protected hate crime groups. She was a person of colour, she had a different gender identity from what she was born with, and she identified as gay. Marsha was well known within the LGBTQ+ community for being a gay liberation activist.
The following year, in 1970, on the 28th of June, the first Pride March was held to mark the anniversary of the Stonewall Riots. These marches took place in New York, San Francisco, and Los Angeles. From the first Pride protest in 1969 at the Stonewall Inn, which was a riot, to the first Oban Pride 40 years later in 2019, things for the LGBTQ+ community have changed a lot, and Pride marches spread across the globe during this time.
The first LGBTQ+ demonstration in the UK was held in London in 1970 and was organised by the Gay Liberation Front, the GLF. The veterans that started GLF did march in 2020 to mark the 50th anniversary of their first demonstration, but it was only the veterans allowed with face masks and social distancing in place because of COVID restrictions, of course. One person who took part in both of these marches was Peter Thatchell.
The first official Pride March in the UK happened in London in 1972 and was again organised by the GLF. The veterans of the 1972 march celebrate their 50th anniversary next year and can be seen on this slide at their 40th anniversary.
The first Pride in Scotland didn't actually happen until 1995, which is quite a long time after
it was, wasn't it?
The first one in the UK. And it was known back then as Pride Scotland. This later became Pride Scotia, as I believe, and it ran yearly, changing between Edinburgh and Glasgow until 2002. It then changed hands, and it wasn't until 2015 that any other towns or cities in Scotland had their own major Pride event. They may have had smaller events, but nothing on a major scale. In 2002, there were 6 prides held in Scotland. This then went back to 2 between 2013 and 2005. 2003 even, in 2005, either being Edinburgh or Glasgow plus Aberdeen. It wasn't until 2010 that both Edinburgh and Glasgow both held Pride events in the same year. And it wasn't really until 2015 that any other towns or cities in Scotland had their own major Pride event. They may have had smaller events, but nothing on a major scale.
So on this slide, you can see that in 2016, there were just 4 prides in Scotland. 2018 jumped up to 16 prides in Scotland. And 2019, it jumped up to 22 prides in Scotland.
And did you know, Anna, there was going to be 26 in 2020 to celebrate 25 years of Pride in Scotland. But of course, it didn't happen.
Nope.
And these are some dates from the 2019 Prides.
Yeah.
And as you can see,
they start in March.
Sorry, this was going to be the 2020 Prides, because ours says the 30th of May.
Yes.
So that was going to be the 2020 Prides.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell it's an old slide.
The beginning ones start in March and they end in July.
Yeah. And of course, Pride Month is still classed as June, even though Pride season lasts all year now, including places doing winter Prides. And here's a flag. This is the Progression Pride flag. I love this Pride flag because it includes the transgender Pride flag and the more colour, more Pride flag as well.
I do like
and the rainbow that we will talk about more next week. We'll talk about flags, LGBTQ plus flags more next week.
Yeah.
So what is Pride?
I don't know. What is Pride?
Well, Pride started, as you've heard, as a protest. As LGBTQ plus people were not being treated as equals, and this had to change. And in some countries, as we've already mentioned, this is still the case. Pride now serves a few different purposes. Ooh, I clicked the wrong screen again. I do apologise. I'm trying to get used to technology again. So Pride promotes self-affirmation. A 16-year-old LGBTQ plus person could be out shopping with the parents or with friends, and they could see a Pride march going past them. And it could make them think, there's people just like me out there, which I think is really important. And it doesn't matter who you are, you should be able to love yourself.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. Pride promotes and fights for equal rights for the LGBTQ plus community. Not just in this country, not just in the country that it is taking place across the world. We've all seen and heard the news about what is currently going on in some countries, especially in places like Brunei. People all over the world have stood up and said, no, this isn't right. This will continue to happen when there are LGBTQ plus people being prosecuted for being themselves.
It fights against stigma. Pride tries to educate people to help stop stigma against LGBTQ plus people. To this day, there are stories going around parts of the world about LGBTQ plus people. And in many countries, people still think being LGBTQ plus is an illness that can be cured, which is shocking.
Shocking. Pride brings together the whole community. It doesn't matter if you're LGBTQ plus. One of the letters in the acronym is A for ally, which is what I am.
It is indeed.
This stands for everyone in whatever part of the world that stands with us in our fight for equal rights. Allies are just a bit of pride as any other letter in that acronym. And we come together as a community to show we celebrate the diversity, the individuality, and the uniqueness of everyone.
It's so true. And when we first did Oban Pride in 2019, one of the biggest highlights for me personally was seeing all the shop windows.
Yeah.
When you went through town,
fantastic.
And you saw the shop windows with pride flags and the rainbow colours made out of scarves, and it was just so lovely to see.
It was so unexpected.
It was. It was just so lovely to see that.
We had such great support from the community. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Pride is a celebration of how far we've come for equal rights. Have we already said this?
No.
No. I wrote the script and I don't even know it properly. I'm not used to sharing it. I'm just used to liking it. Pride is also a celebration of how far equal rights have come in our country, as they have come a long way since the Pride movement began as we know it in 1969.
Pride above all else means taking pride in who you are, loving who you want to love, and showing the world that you are proud of who you are.
After all, you are what you are.
You are what you are.
Or I am what I am. This is me. How many song quotes can I get in? After all, we're born this way. 3 song quotes. Thank you very much.
Is that all?
Well, I think I could have squeezed in some more there, but I didn't. Oh dear.
Well, good evening, David. I hope you're well.
Yes, I do hope you're all well.
Yeah. Hi, Elaine.
It's great when it's so strange because we've got that many screens running. I'm still flicking between 2 screens on my computer. So yeah. Never mind. So why do we still need Pride? Because there is still a need for Pride. Now, these figures that we're going to go through are horrible. And they are a little bit out of date. They are from between 2013 and 2017. Things had got a little bit better, but things sadly got a little bit worse for many LGBTQ plus people during lockdown.
Yeah.
So these figures, they're important that we go through them so that people realise why we still need Pride, but they are very upsetting.
They are. So 1 in 5 LGBT people have experienced a hate crime or an incident because of their sexual orientation and or gender identity in the last 12 months.
2 in 5 trans people have experienced a hate crime or incident because of their gender identity in the last 12 months.
4 in 5 LGBT people who have experienced a hate crime or incident didn't report it to the police.
Which is horrible to think that people don't feel comfortable reporting these things to the police. The police fight so hard for hate crime. They've got a huge hate crime thing. The hate crime bill is actually just busy being looked at again, amended. And it's so important if you do witness a hate crime to report it.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
This is now changed to 70. So 70 countries criminalize. Oh my God, I can't say criminalize same-sex relationships. I'm sorry, I haven't stuck my teeth in properly tonight.
The death penalty is either allowed or evidence of its existence occurs in 8 countries.
Which has risen to 11.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Between 2008 and 2014, there were 1,612 trans people murdered. 1,612 trans people were murdered across 62 countries, which is the equivalent to a killing every 2 days.
Gosh. Horrendous. A quarter of the world's population believes that being LGBT should be a crime. Why?
It's terrible. And like we said, all these figures are from 2003 to 2017. And it's awful that LGBTQ plus people still face stigma, harassment every single day. And it can be little things. It can be name calling. It can be violence. It can be anything at all. And as a Pride organisation, that's why we want to do events like this that raise awareness, that share these figures.
Yeah.
Now, we've talked about how Pride started and why we still need Pride. And Oban Pride started in 2019, as you know. And as you've seen from those figures, Pride is very much needed today for 2 reasons. For celebration, because of how far LGBTQ plus rights have come, but also because the fight's still going. We still need to fight for LGBTQ plus people and still fight for their equality. In other countries and in our own, there's been huge things in the news recently about trans rights, about trans people, because transgender people still don't have equal rights. And it's a massive fight that's still going on in our own country. And it's really important that we know, that people know about it. So if you do see a post on Facebook about it, if you do hear something in the news about it, share it with people. Share it with people, make people realise that these fights are still going on and that we still need Pride for this reason. I'm getting a bit emotional there. Oh, because it's just so horrendous. Now, we're going to share a video. I love this video. It's a range of pictures that we've put together, and it reminds us of why we still need Pride. Now, I'm going to tell you now, these images can be very upsetting.
Yeah.
We've watched, well, I put them together. I've used them a few times for presentations. Anna's watched them a couple of times now with me. And we both still get upset watching these images.
Yeah.
But they illustrate why we still need Pride. They illustrate why we're still fighting for equal rights. But they also show some of the highlights of Pride and how happy and accepted it can make people feel. So we're going to share this little video, if I can press play on it. Oh, it's playing again. Hang on. So like I say, that's just a short video of highlighting why we still need Pride and why Pride started, really. And yeah, I do like showing that. And Gary shared a very good point there. A lot of people are sharing very good points there, so we'll share these and gives us a chance to read what people are commenting.
It's a good point there, Colin.
It is a very good point. And it is the case of, as we've said, we are still fighting for equality for LGBTQ plus people. Oh, I've taken my share screen off because we don't need it anymore, so you can see us again. And Gary also put some very good points about people living with HIV. That
Oh, look, that's cut me off completely.
People still believe you can catch it from sharing a toilet or drinking from the same cup. And it's all stigma and issues that LGBTQ plus people face every single day of their lives. And it does show, all these issues do show why Pride is needed so much.
Yeah.
And that's why we wanted to do this for LGBT History Month, LGBTQ plus History Month. Like we said at the start, we're going to be here every single Thursday from 6 p.m. looking at different LGBTQ plus issues. So this week we've looked at the start of Pride. Next week, I believe we're looking at
flags,
about the flags, about what the different Pride flags mean. Some of them. We're not going through all 250 different Pride flags. But
why not?
Because that would take a long time.
This is a flag. This is a flag.
But next week we're looking at the LGBTQ plus flags. The following week we're looking at what actually LGBTQ plus means. Because a lot of people don't know the full acronym or what the full acronym stands for. So we'll be back with that as well. Of course, during LGBT History Month as well, we do have our radio show.
We do. 8 till 10 on a Friday.
On Oban FM.
On
Oban FM. We've got Oban Pride on the Waves every Friday. And we've got stuff on our website as well. I'm just putting a wee banner along for our website there. We were mentioning we get a lot of support from the local community. I've lost it. Oh, there it is. The lovely people at Highland Glass and Ceramics have actually made us a new piece of merchandise that I just want to hopefully share with you all. You can't see it very well in the slide, I'm afraid. Hang on. Where's my phone? It's an absolutely beautiful...
Oh, no, that's even worse.
No, that's even worse. You'll see a better picture on the website.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful piece of glass, and it comes as a kit, and you stick the rainbow colours on yourself, and it's got our name in the middle of it.
It's
really absolutely
pretty.
Beautiful.
And you make it yourself, and it was so therapeutic, actually, wasn't it?
You can make it yourself, or for a little bit more, we can make it for you.
Yeah.
Post it out already made. Because we're very generous like that. But these are all ways to help support Oban Pride. We've got another message coming in there. We like sharing your messages. If you do have any more messages, do share them. Because we do like sharing them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jay.
That's a really good point as well.
Yeah, sure. Sure is.
So thank you to everyone for joining us. It is just a short live stream. There will be just short 30-minute live streams on the Thursday nights. Just to do a little bit of LGBTQ plus education. We do hope to see you next Thursday, 6 p.m. We will be here.
We will be here, yes.
At the bottom of my cakes. If you believe
it's that. It's a little bit chilly.
It's a bit chilly. And of course, we've got Purple Friday on the 26th of January from 7 p.m. It will be an amazing night. I believe we've even got some stuff to give away. We've received a little bit of funding for that event. So we're very much looking forward to that.
You never know, you might even be able to win your own rainbow glass.
You might. Who knows?
You might. And we might have some exciting news next week.
Might we?
Yeah, we might.
Oh.
Yes.
So exciting! I can't even remember. Oh yes, I remember now. I was like,
dear. You still have to keep him right.
The thing is, LGBT History Month is such a busy month. We've got the daily posts, weekly live streams, we'll party at the end of the month, and all week I've been doing education virtually in different schools throughout Argyll as part of History Month as well. So it's been a bit of a whirlwind of a week.
It has, and we're in the Oban Times, aren't we? Every week.
I believe so. I will admit I haven't been to pick this week's up.
Oh yeah, it's Thursday, isn't it?
Yeah, it is Thursday.
I've forgotten that.
But no, we should have a small article in the Oban Times every week during History Month as well, trying to get the message out even further about LGBTQ plus history, issues and rights. So thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. And if you do get the chance to watch It's a Sin,
make sure you've got your tissues.
Yes, it is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And it's a real eye-opener.
It is. It really is.
Yeah.
There's loads of good LGBTQ plus programs. It's a Sin is fantastic. And I watched the other day Boy Erased.
Oh dear.
Oh, and that was all about conversion therapy. So it's very hard to watch, but it just shows you what LGBTQ plus people have gone through.
So that's why there's like layers and layers of tissues all around your flat.
Yes. From the amount of crying I've been doing watching all of these programs.
He's lost like a stone just in
tears. But no, thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you very, very much.
Enjoy the rest of your Thursday evening.
Yeah.
And we shall see you all next Thursday. And of course, you can listen to us on Oban Pride on the Waves tomorrow night.
And stay safe. Look after yourselves and each other.
And we'll see you all next week.
Much.
Thank you for listening.